So you probably heard of Buckshot Roulette, right? I mean, literally almost every Let's Play YouTuber, Twitch streamer, or addicted online gambler has played it. Yes, XCC is two of those things. But in case you've been living under a rock, it's an indie game that's basically Russian roulette with a pump-action shotgun. The game is simple, unique, and most importantly, it appeals to my self-diagnosed gambling addiction. But I will say that the game is lacking in one thing in particular, and it's that you don't quite feel the weight of the decisions you make in the game. Like, that feeling of relief or anxiety just isn't there because it's all within the confines of the game. Or is it? Who the fuck's calling me?
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. Your home security is great. Or is it?
It's okay, he got the wrong house. But anyway, whenever you have a gambling addiction, part of the rush you get is from how high the stakes are. Take people with real gambling addictions, for example. Their stakes are either they piss their pants at the slot machine while going broke, or they make it big. And we all know that 99% of all gamblers quit right before they make it big. So you better believe that I am going to double down and shit my pants just to hit a jackpot at a Chuck E. Cheese. But whenever it comes to Buckshot Roulette, you're realistically only gambling with a win or a loss. I mean, yeah, you can get shot and lose, but you can just keep trying again and again at no penalty until you do win. In order to get that addictive high stakes rush, we have to be willing to gamble something else away. And boom, that's when it hit me. Gambling hurts people. You see, normal gambling already hurts people emotionally and financially, but what if we just hurt them physically? It's complete genius. I mean, we can just gamble each other's pain, mine included. Man, I'm going through this script and it makes me feel like I'm going through a villain arc right now. And what do you know, Buckshot Roulette just so happens to be the perfect game for this. Minus the part where we paint the ceiling, but don't worry, I have a plan for that. Wait, that didn't sound right. I am going to build and program a full physical version of Buckshot Roulette called Shock Roulette. Based on that name, I'm pretty sure you can tell where this is going. To pull this off, I need to figure out 3 core pieces: the dealer, the shock units, and the shotgun. The dealer is the game master that handles all the internal game logic like damage, health, round count, and random shell generation. The dealer is also going to double as the UI for the game, displaying the player health, round number, and instructions to play. Kind of like the electronic display in the game. You might remember this great value claymore from my last video where I used it to make a SWAT simulator that shocks me every time I get shot in the game. And if you haven't watched my last video, you should probably check it out so that way you have a little bit of context on the electronics inside this thing. Or if you want to see me cry in pain every time I get shot, that also works too. The hardware in this thing hasn't changed at all since the last video. The only difference is in the code, which was a little bit complicated to program. If we break down the game logic, we can figure out that the dealer has to do these actions in this order: initialize the player healths, load the shotgun, start the round, figure out who got shot, and update the display to show who's dying faster. If the shotgun is empty, then we'll start a new round and we go back to loading the shotgun again. If any of the players hit 0 health, then the game's over. It sounds simple, but there's a lot of logic and some small details behind it all that I won't go into. The attentive ones of the class may have noticed that I left out the dealer's ability to distribute items throughout the game, and I did that on purpose. You see, since we're physically playing the game, we can just simplify the system to blindly reaching into a box for the officer's gun. I was told that I cannot say that, and I need to clarify what I mean. I mean reach into the box for the item, not the other thing. Okay, we good? Okay, we good. When it comes to the shock units, we can also reuse them from the last video without making any changes to the hardware, and that's because I planned 2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead. I actually kept a few components hidden that we'll be using for this project. The first one I kept hidden was this little IR receiver that most of you should be familiar with. It's basically what allows your TV to receive infrared signals from your TV remote. And no, we're not going to be turning the volume up and down on the shock vest. That literally makes no fucking sense, and I'm disappointed that you even thought of that in the first place. Instead, we're going to send some IR signals to tell the shock unit that it needs to decrease the player's health by 1 and unleash the power of Zeus, but if it was a malnourished child that punched you in the gut. In other words, you get shocked with a TENS unit. A TENS unit? No, not that tense. A TENS unit works by sending short electrical pulses through these pads, causing a user's muscles to contract. It's usually used as a form of physical therapy, but in my case, I'm using it as psychological therapy to appeal to my sick gambling addiction. The other component I added is this little button right here, and all that does is increase the player's health by 1 whenever you consume an item like the cigarettes in the game. It will also update the health on the display right here whenever you press it. I did have to reprogram this thing a little bit because all it needs to do is just increase and decrease the player's health, as well as shock the player at full strength for about 2 seconds, which I guarantee you I will regret later. With the dealer and the shock units basically done, all we need to do is figure out how to get a toy pump-action shotgun to interact with the game. And to do that, we need to keep track of 3 key pieces: the pump, the shells, and the trigger. For the pump, we need to know whether or not it's in the forward position or the back position. If we start with a loaded but unchambered shotgun, then pulling the trigger is not going to do anything. So it's only until we pump it back and we pull it forward again that we fully chamber a shell. And if we already have a shell in the shotgun, whenever we pull the pump back and forward again, we just eject the shell. Whether or not we shot it doesn't actually matter. So we'll need some way to know whether or not the pump has gone through a full cycle, so that way we can know which shell is in the chamber. And I say shells because the physical shells that we're loading in are complete lies, kind of like the tooth fairy or when your dad said he was going to go out and get milk. The shells that actually matter are randomly generated from the dealer and sent over to the microcontroller that's on the shotgun. The shotgun will know what to do based on the shell that's currently in the chamber whenever you pull the trigger. When you take all of that into consideration, you get something a little like this. Let me walk you through it. To know when we've fully racked the shotgun, there's a limit switch at the front and the back here. So whenever you pull it back, it triggers the back limit switch, and you push it forward, it will trigger the front. In order to request shotgun shells, all you need to do is just press this button. And when it comes to the trigger, there's actually a little button underneath it to let us know when we need to shoot. So once the dealer is all initialized and connected to all the devices like the shock vest and the shotgun, all we need to do to start the game is press this button, in which the dealer will start sending randomized shotgun shells to the shotgun. And it says that there are 2 live and 2 dead cells in it. And then it's going to tell me to load in the physical shotgun shells that do absolutely jack shit. So I am going to do that now. And lastly, 1 for the chamber. And then it's loaded. And to start the game, we need to press this to confirm that we've loaded all the shells, and now the game is active. I didn't tell you this, but I actually added 2 items that the shotgun can use. The first one is an LED, and it works a lot like the magnifying glass in the game in that it will tell you if the current chambered shell is alive or a blank. So if I just stick the LED into the box here, so right now the LED is off, meaning that the current shell is a blank. So if I eject the shell and I pull it back, it looks like the next one is alive. And the second item I added is a 9-volt battery, and this works a lot like the saw in the game in that it will deal double damage for the current shell, assuming it's alive. And to use it, all I need to do is just insert it into the side of the gun here, and now the shell is charged. So the only thing left to do is test whether or not I get shocked twice. And I'm all padded up and I'm ready for this. And I know it's gonna look bad, but I don't know how to do it any other way. So here goes nothing. Ah, fuck! Ah, shit. And it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. Yep, it's happening again. Okay. And as you can see, it went down by 2. Yeah, why'd I do this? And now I see that the current shell has been spent, so if I eject it, it looks like the next one's alive. I'm not shooting myself this time, so we're done here. And if for some reason a player wanted to heal themselves so that way they could keep playing, all they need to do is just press this button on the shock unit vest, and it should ask for the HP to go up by 1, in which it did. Oh, and it also updates on the dealer here too. And with that, everything is finished. We have the dealer, 2 shock vests, and a shotgun, all ready to go and powered with portable battery banks, meaning that this game can be taken on the go. So this means that you could play it at a friend's house, a crack house, and a streamer house, which you could probably argue is the same thing as a crack house, just not as fun. But unfortunately, I don't have the luxury or privilege of terrorizing an entire streamer house with a series of 1v1s and a toy shotgun, so we'll have to make do with someone else. And just doing that might be the biggest challenge of them all, finding a friend. And in all honesty, it's because it's nearing the holiday season and people are going to be out and about with their families, so I don't blame them. And on top of the holidays coming up, the video's kind of getting long. As I'm editing this, it's almost 12 minutes, and I feel like it would be a major disservice to cut the gameplay short just to meet some theoretical time limit. There's also the fact that I'm not sure the attention span of many people on YouTube would be able to handle a 20-minute video, so... And as of right now, I think the best course of action is to make an entirely separate video just showing off the gameplay, so that way anybody that watches it can enjoy it without all the explanation. And if you were expecting some gameplay of this in this video, then I'm sorry, and to make up for it, I kind of put extra effort into editing and the script, so I hope you enjoyed that at least. And yeah, that's all I can think of. If you like the video, then like it. If you like content like this, or you're interested in seeing the gameplay of this, then consider subscribing. But in any case, I'll see you in the next video.